morning. It is our third day here in South Africa, and because we're kind of in limbo for flights to get back to Europe, or at least to Germany for me, the group has decided to come down to Simonstown and the Boulder Rocks, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, to see the African penguins, and they're really hard to find. It's going to be very difficult to photograph these little guys in their natural habitat. You know what they really look like is the Patagonian penguins, the Magallanes. How do you say it again? Magallanes. I should probably know that, but luckily I have an Argentinian in the group, so Magallanes, which are beautiful penguins in southern hemisphere. But that's a different video altogether, and this video starts right now. Let's go. About an hour later, and what an incredible location. We got here just when the doors opened. I think it opened at 8, and the tour guide was absolutely correct that it's the best to get here super early in the morning. The penguins have been really active, and it was kind of raining and a bit cold this morning, and in the last hour it's definitely gotten a lot warmer, and the sun is trying to peek through the clouds, and these penguins are moving and they're loud and they're doing stuff. So absolutely perfect time to get some nice photos and some good interaction with the group, and like getting photos of the penguins. It really is too easy here. You just rock up and you get some incredible shots. So that is always nice to see in tourism, when it's like soft adventure and you can get incredible wildlife shots relatively easily. So that's a nice start to our day, and we're going to talk more about the whole variant situation in this video, but I also want to share with you being a tourist, because it feels really nice to be back here in South Africa. You know, I am working in travel and tourism, but at the same time, this feels like the first trip in a long time. So we're going to do some cool stuff today, including Chapman's Peak Road, I believe, and Cape of Good Hope. We have made it to the Cape of Good Hope. You probably recognize that sign behind me. And look, there's even some tourists kind of lined up to get the classic photo, and nobody's wearing a mask, but we need to be cautious. So I'm gonna keep well distance here. At least it's very windy and we're in a very open environment, as you can see. So there are still people stuck here in South Africa. It's not just us, but no, we're not stuck, honestly. This is a really nice reprieve from the stresses of the last couple of days. But we're here, we've made it. I've wanted to see this sign for a long time. For those of you who don't know, or are just starting to watch the channel now, I spent almost a year in East Africa back in 2012, which is almost 10 years ago. That helps to show my age. But I went to Cape Town a few times, and I never got down here. So I'm very happy to finally have the chance to get an iconic photo in front of this sign, because I am a super tourist at heart, and I really hope that the travel industry can bounce back. But this tour has been great. We've seen like some awesome wild animals. I'm getting confused with Wildtier and my German. I've been speaking German most of the day, so believe it or not, my German's getting better, slowly but surely. But we saw elands, like an antelope that's native to the area, and then we also saw some ostrich, which is really cool, and some seals, but they're very far off. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see seals closer up later today. No, no, no. Man, it's amazing how clear it is. Very All right, and we made it to Haupt Bay, which is a beautiful fishing town south of Cape Town. And this has just been honestly like a great day tour. It's probably about mid-afternoon now. The weather is perfect. I got some stunning footage. Just a really nice overall day tour of the area. You know, so we started from Cape Town, drove southeast to Simonstown to see the penguinos, and then we went all the way down to the Cape of Good Hope, Cape Point, then past Chapman's Drive to here Haupt Bay. We're gonna get some food, a late lunch, and then back to Cape Town. Overall, just a really good day trip, and I haven't done a day trip in so long. Even though I'm working, doing a day trip like this and capturing this content just feels great. You know, we got the drone up in the air finally. It looks incredible, but the whole like tour has been relatively simple, and it's not that far, but it's still far enough that it's like, you know, 5 or 6 hours out on the road, and you get to see just some incredible landscape and wildlife, which I was not expecting today at all. So it's just been 2 full memory cards, 1 video, 1 photo, and a lot of editing work ahead of me. But and from here, we're gonna try and get some fish and chips, then head back to Cape Town. We didn't end up getting any fish and chips, which is a bit of a shame, but we were in a rush to get back here to Cape Town Central City for a city tour, which has been really cool. It's an incredible history here between the Dutch and the English settlements and colonization, then of course apartheid and all those terrible years of just extreme racism and segregation. So there's a lot to learn about Cape Town, hey. And we've got a local guide who's showing us around, and she is super animated and really nice, so that's great. And I got the mask on, as you can see, because even though we're kind of in the middle of an open space, sorry, it's very bright off and on sun, it's still important right now to be very cautious of this new variant. So I want to do everything that I can under the current protocols to keep myself safe and the group as well, to make sure that when I do end up going back to Germany, you know, I'm definitely negative and not bringing any kind of signs of this virus back to Europe. So that's my main priority, as well as, of course, getting the content for why I'm here in the first place and getting paid to be here. So the president of South Africa is going to make an announcement tomorrow morning, which is going to determine the next stage of the lockdown that's going to happen here. So from the people we've talked to today and our local tour guide, it sounds like they won't go into full lockdown, but they are gonna like close liquor stores in Gauteng or Gauteng, the main province where Johannesburg and Pretoria are. They might go into some form of lockdown, a bit more serious, because that's where most of the cases are. So that's interesting to follow, you know, in real time here, because it could affect us down in the Western Cape and the rest of our tour. We're gonna follow the necessary protocols until there's new news about the next stage of this lockdown and virus mutation. So we're back in Cape Town doing a city tour, and this city, as you know, has a ton of interesting history.
I'm Anita Hermanus.
Antinita.
I'm Anita from Antinita's Tours. And this is what I do. I have the best job in the whole wide world, showing people about the best city in the whole wide world.
What city is that?
This is the mother city in South Africa, Cape Town. Here we go. Come on, let's get to Nelson Mandela.
And we are back at the hotel here in the center of Cape Town, and this was a very long day, and I hope not too long of a vlog, but it is what is really happening in Cape Town in South Africa from our perspective, from my perspective personally on this tour. But I wanted to share with you sort of some of the conclusions on this third day of the new variant kind of hitting the world news, and that is that South Africa isn't like, it's not banned from the world. The flights have been restricted, and there's definitely rules that we need to follow regarding like citizens getting back to their countries or residents, but it's not like all the airlines have just stopped, like it was almost 2 years ago now. They haven't gone into full lockdown. The president is going to announce something, and there's been some speculation as to what that is regarding like shutting down alcohol stores and Gauteng, as I said earlier in this video, but we don't know that yet at this moment when I'm making this video. So it's still, there's a lot of unknowns, and for me, I can't really risk like betting on something that might not happen, especially when we've seen this trend of high risk areas or variant areas having mandatory quarantines, and those kind of being enacted by those countries, right? Even if there aren't like super strict rules in Germany at this moment, if I want to be able to get back to my home with my girlfriend and our son, and we're meant to be hosting my parents for Christmas, which I really still hope can happen, and there's no way I want to be in quarantine when my parents arrive for the first time that they've traveled in 2 years. So I think what's really happening here in South Africa is that maybe South Africa is being kind of blamed for this outbreak of the new variant, when from the sentiment that I get here is like that's not the case. It's going to spread around the world no matter what, and there's some people that think that it didn't even start here or wherever. Who knows, right? Like the fact that it's being called like the South Africa variant, or it's all about South Africa and blah 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 blah. There's people that feel like that's unfair, and I can kind of relate to that being here in this moment, because we still feel safe. There's people take extreme caution here when in regard to like hand sanitizing, going to restaurants, going to different places. Everybody's kind of following those strict protocols to make sure that they're all safe and healthy. So we're sticking with that with the tour. I still haven't booked a flight yet, but I'm trying, and I hope to be able to share that information with you in the next video. So yeah, I'll see you on that one. Bye.